right. So, time for some perspective. Spoken by a Millennial. I really just want to put content out like this out for people that are younger than me so they can realize what I'm realizing, which is men get better with time. Women are born with value that men are not born with. They have inherent value. Mother Nature gives women values that Father Time takes away over time. And as us as men, we gotta realize, I really just wish, it's something Gary Vee said. He said, just close your eyes till you're 29, because you're not gonna miss nothing. Because there's really nothing to really miss out here. Because people are always like, I'm trying to, young, wild, and free. People don't realize, and people are so worried about this time frame between the age of 20 to 40. That's this much. Between the age of 40 to 80, you will live twice as long, and you will have this much of the energy you had compared to when you were 20 years old. And that is the time frame that people are not worried about. And that's the time frame of life. People get stuck in poverty, stuck in solitude of life, and just end up miserable, because us as human beings, we're social creatures. And the thing is, being a millennial, I've noticed that people made being social in some sort of ways as bad. Like, I don't like to be cussing on the platform, but for instance, giving someone too many compliments as a man to another man would be counted as dick riding. Someone that, just sucking up to this man. Sit down, Angel. He's out there playing with the TV, trying to work it himself. Yeah, we better with age. Women already have the value. A lot of times, though, we have to put in perspective of us that we have to, as men, figure out who of these women actually are in reality. Because, like, one instant, like, you tell a girl right now that's super pretty at 18, 19, 20 years old, you tell her that she's not going to be super pretty forever. It's literally, like, damning her. And they would never let that happen. But, I'll never have a problem getting men. And they never, like, most 20-year-olds are just not even in conversation with 40-year-old women. They're just not. Because the married ones are up in their house with their families, and the still single ones are either at home dealing with the loneliness or out in the streets and aren't really people to be following behind anyways and taking advice from. But we have to realize as men, for us, that our value comes from how valuable we are to the world, not however many girls we got or however big our following is or something of that manner. And like with work, I try to tell people you don't get paid by how good of a job you do or how long you've been somewhere. You get paid by how big of a problem you solve for the company. But as us men, we gotta realize that women right now are in this transfixed, how they say, gynocentric social manner, and they're pushing it, and feminism has pushed it all around in all aspects of the world, where saying anything unflattering to female nature, it is misogynist, or even up to the point of hate speech. That's why Kevin Samuels has been getting so much backlash, because all he's doing is telling women about a standard that men want that they can't live up to, that most of them can't. Being fit, feminine, receptive to men, respecting men in general, liberating, discerning. I mean, past 35, you're not fertile. I mean, that's one of the big components. It's a bunch of single 35-plus-year-old women trying to find someone to marry. When a man is at any age under 60 years old, able to look for a wife and say, I want my first kid from you, or any amount of kids from you. For me to invest in you and give you your life, you got to give me life. But they don't think of that whatsoever, because they think they are the prize. Us men are the prize. That is the main component of this topic. Is once we finally figure it out and we have to look in a certain manner, we realize we are the trophy the whole time. Men, something goes bump in the night. What does a woman bring to the table? If something goes bump in the night, nothing. The guy goes and does it. There's some protection, security, provisions. Do not mess with it. I don't care. Eat the food, or I'll turn it off.
I can't find that kitty cat anywhere. Don't worry, Aunt May. I'll go find that little fuzzball.
That moment. Because you're bringing provision. Because with men, women don't realize that them wanting some purpose, or some career, or some money, or anything is just for them or whatever children that they have around them, and kind of to a point when it comes to the children. Because women aren't built to be leading and providing 100% for things. That's not the natural order of things. That's not how things are supposed to go whatsoever. Women in this world don't even make that much goddamn money. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Women in the United States of America, most of them don't make any money. A lot of them don't work, and the biggest women of the country don't bring in 1/10 of the biggest men of this country. Women own about 48% of businesses in America. Guess what? They've only hired 16% of all hires that are in America. So if we're at let's say a 10% employment rate, and adult-wise there's 150 million, that means y'all hired 20 million. And the other men have hired the other 130 million men. With only 50% of the businesses, with the same amount of ratio of businesses that we own compared to y'all. We've hired almost 10 times as many men. Well, as many employees. And women's revenue they bring to the country is about $4 trillion. This sounds real big, but that's literally 8% of the revenue that comes to America. Who's doing the other 92% of the revenue that comes to America? Men. So, just on those numbers, if the women were only in this country, America would be fucking homeless. I really realize we're the prize, we're the breadwinners, we're the ones saying that our purpose for life is surrounding the factor of the family. You're getting the better job so you can support more, so you can provide more. Women are getting a better job, want the better promotion, so they can say they got the better promotion, so they can say there's some career. Women don't ever tell you what type of PhD they have. They just say I have a PhD. Or a master's, or a degree. They never tell you what the shit is in. Because most shit that women get into that is degree-like is medical field. And they work for somebody. The top 3 careers for women is nursing, being a secretary, or being an elementary school teacher. Elementary and middle school. You know why? Because when children become in high school and college, they need a goddamn doctor and professor and a man to teach them. Women choose to go to elementary and middle school because they don't want to deal with the older kids. Well, they don't want to deal with older kids. Cause I remember in 5th grade, my teacher cried to the class because they were, so to say, mean to her. Bunch of 5th graders, a bunch of 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids. Because women are wanting, even to that aspect of life, wanting that to be easy. And one thing that makes men, this completely makes it so men are the prize, that we can have babies until we're 60. 2, if you're a man that makes over $80,000 a year, you're in the top 20, top 15% of most of all adults in America. 15% out of, and there's, let's say, 200,000 adults. But that's split. But it sounds like a big number, but it's spread across 50 states. Each state having tons of different counties, millions of different cities. Yeah, it breaks that down real well. Just in general, you go to a club and you want to meet some pretty girl and have all those assets of pretty and make some damn money that's under $50,000 a year. There's millions upon millions upon millions. You go to any club in the world to find that. Some pretty girl that makes some money under $50,000 a year. And one thing is you always find is some type of woman that makes under $50,000, that makes under $40,000 a year, that's super pretty, that thinks she's a goddamn boss. But back to the men. You won't go to the club and just find like what women's standards are: 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 figures. That's the ultimate thing. Because women are hardwired to want security with the provisions and protection. And then a lot of people don't realize only like, I think the number is like 20% of men that are actually over 6 foot tall. And there's us men, if we're in the right position and good position of life, you gotta realize it's only a small number of men that are actually 6 foot tall and with the 6 pack, and they have with the 6 figures. And each of them are in some 20% market. So if you have the money looking for, you're already over 20% of men. The body like they want, you're over 20% of you're above the top 20% of men. You're at 6 foot. You reach the standard of most men that women want. But when it comes to what women bring to the table, 80% of women, you go to the club, you ask each woman what they bring to the table and this and that. It's going to be their money that they don't want to share with you, their degree that puts them in position, and a lot of times the business plan they think they got going on. Nothing most women don't. The first thing most women never say is, "What do you bring to the table by being a wife?" They never say being a good wife and dutiful wife to my husband. And as us men, we have to get smarter. We have to become a lot smarter and wiser. And a lot of men have to start reading. Like for me, I wouldn't have known what intersexual dynamics was if I wasn't reading and looking into different content to learn from men. Especially older men that were, seen the game and seen that 30, 40, 50 years old and realized the women at the age and realized, y'all realize we get 40, 50 years old, we look good, we got a little touch of gray on us and this and that, and now we finally are on the big stride of making the big money, and the women that didn't want you before, guess what? No one's been wanting them for 20 years, and they gonna try to hit you with a hey big head and hey there, like they ain't brush you under the rug and go for the guy that was no good for them. Because as us men, as us getting better with age, like for me, I started as a cook. I was a prep cook in 2000. No, I was a dishwasher and at Cracker Barrel, and I was a freaking sandwich artist at freaking Dunkin' Donuts. And now I'm one of the lead cooks in an Italian restaurant. Not like some fine dining, but we serve wine. And they make the nice pizzas, and we make real authentic Italian food. And before that, I was getting paid $17 an hour just to work pantry, which is just literally in the food world, desserts and salads. So I was at a position where I was making like over $35,000 a year because I've put my work in and got my resume up with the cooking industry from 2013, 2014 times to last year. I was getting paid $35,000 plus a year for keeping a track of my responsibility. I remember it was literally 5 salads, 5 desserts, and 2 appetizers. And the year before that, I was closing manager for Hard Rock in Daytona Beach, and led them through all of 2020's holidays. Was the big time grill cook. All the new stuff on the menu came. Before that, I've been been the certified trainer of most restaurants most of the time. So it was a simple cook, 2013, 2014. So I don't tell people I'm a chef, because I tell people a chef is someone that deals with recipes that are, complicated and more than at times from 6 to 23 things for one item. Me, I just tell people I'm an expert cook. Like, if me and you got some recipes and you got some menu or that's less than 300 things, and you got 1,000 people to feed, I'll learn the damn recipe. I tell people in most restaurants when I do the interview, show me where the food is, show me how you want the food to look, and I'm gonna get it to A to Z in the fastest way. And I've proved myself multiple times. I got over 10 kitchen managers and over 10 chefs I call, and they'll be like, yeah, he's the one. But for us as men, we have to learn that we have to learn to stop working for more money and stop working for more responsibilities. Like, for instance, in the kitchen, like, oh, like, if you train these 2-3 people, if you see you train a couple times here and train people here and there, we'll give you some more money. But for me, I got that same deal put on the table years ago, and I had to take it. Years down the line, now, last year, that's how I got the $17 an hour. They want me to train people just on simple salad. I told them, you can get the other guy to do it. Simple as that. I don't have to do it. You can go get the guy that's already been here for 2 years, even though I was only been there less than 6 months, and they want me to train people. And they already know I can get it, because when it came to like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, they just threw me on saute, and I just learned everything right off the back, and no training, and made it happen. So they already know I'm receptive, and I understand how to explain things to people. You have to have a with that thing in your head of saying that you can get better with time. You have to have respective care with time. And back to me saying we have to stop working for responsibility and for money. We have to start working for freedom. You have to go to the table with your management or something and tell them, how much can you pay me to not be here? Because I'm sorry, but people brag about overtime, but I'm sorry, if you have to if you're at full time, I'm in the world now, like I'm in the realm now, especially if you're in a two-person household. That's how you should really make it, because you're trying to raise a family. That's why I've gotten to the point of 2. I only work 4 days a week, 5 hours a day. And I was working last year. I worked 700 hours in 2 months, because I was working back to back, going to the next job, going that, and just things added up. We've seen how things work, and things worked for that time, and we had money and we were good and stuff. But now I didn't have time for my family, and those type of things start building up. And you have to, in this world as men, you're gonna have to pick your poison. You may not get the extravagant fucking girl, but you making an extravagant life and working hard. You may have to pick the boring girl that really, 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 really does love just sitting at home with the kids. And here's the thing that helps me, men. Please understand that a fat ass looks better on someone else's girl. I'm sorry to say. It doesn't look good on your girl. You're not going to like it. You're going to love it when you alone and behind closed doors. But the rest of the world, no, you're not going to like it. I know. I'm going to tell you now, I'm an ass man. My girl has like thighs and hips, but she don't have no super fat booty. I said in my time that, I might just might just get a BBL or however the hell something of that manner was to work, get a butt job, so to say. But for me, it's like I'm gonna tell you now, it's just less stressful because men, we know as men are pigs. They literally just want the fucking girl for the ass and titties and the face. There's 3 components. They don't care if she has a little pudginess. They don't care if she has some cellulite on her thighs. Like they don't even care if they're sloppy fat, as long as they have the curvature to match. And the thing is, as men, we have to stop thinking like women. We have to really, really, really get to a rational male perspective. Because the one thing that sucks is being taught by women and being raised by women, as a lot of people are. 40% of women are in single family households, born by a single mother. We gotta stop thinking like men. I mean, like women. One thing is for women, for men nowadays, it's hard. They don't realize that women are trying to make men like what they like in a man, and want us to want that out of a woman. Like they want us to care about their career and their assets and what they bring as in provisions. I'm gonna tell you now. I've only known of one story where the broke man came into the rich girl's house and got something out of the deal, and it's because he came in and he was the pack mule and he did everything. He came into her job and made her job easier, and that's what intersexual dynamics is, to make things easier within the household. If someone comes and makes someone else's life easier, so someone can make someone else's life, make the other person's life more comfortable. If the breadwinner in the goddamn house has to worry about the kids being picked up or of that manner, or dealing with if the kids being watched, you're hurting the breadwinner, meaning you're hurting the kids, meaning you're hurting yourself overall of having a comfortable lifestyle. You remember, men, just level up. You may not be able to get 6 feet, but you can go get a 6-pack and you can go get 6 figures. You may not be able to do it with one job, you may have to do 2, 3 things. Alright. And when it comes to, and you can just close your eyes, everything not go right for you, and you have that 6-pack and the 6 figures, because you gotta realize women thirst trap with their body, men thirst trap with their lifestyle, because that's what women want, is the provision that there's more money left over for them to have. That's why women hate it when men flash off their money, because it's like showing the world I have provisions to just give out to the world. But women hate that because they've also been with a man that has done the whole spreading money on the arm thing, showing, flashing money, and then they date this person, realize they make $4,000 a month and they have a $4,200 lifestyle, and they don't have some extra money for them. Women and men are hardwired differently. It's literally genetically, it's literally scientifically proven that our thought processes react different to certain situations. That's why if you quit your job as a man for 2 years, your girl will leave you. It's under conditions. She's not loving you unconditionally. It's completely impossible. Won't be like, oh, I just completely love confidence. But guess what? When she goes into the club and you see her in the club and you're one of these super confident people, but you don't look like something she likes, guess what? She's not even going to care to hear something that comes out of your mouth. And if she doesn't see you over there in the VIP popping bottles and showing that you got some money to just throw around, if you don't meet some sort of prerequisites, you can't find out what she likes personality-wise, because they have prerequisites and conditions before they let you in. And you better just know, you better have yourself in a realm of abundance, so it doesn't matter about their standards. You are the standard as a man.